Are we recording? We're recording. Perfect. Okay. Thank you all for showing up. So if you will join me in the garden game board, I will share it, but if you can play along, that will help. But if not, I can make whatever moves you suggest. All right.
I'm jealous that you can garden because I'm looking at snow outside right
Oh,
now.
wow.
Coming down.
Oh no.
Are you in Alaska?
Getting there. Alberta.
Alberta, Canada. Yes. I was right after I said Alaska, I was like, it's probably Canada, but all right. Well, this is the technically fifth game I've played. It's been getting just exponentially better every time. Two of those were during Friday meetings that me and the other members of the township do every Fridays. But thank you all so much for coming. The way this works is there are instructions and cards to the right of the game board area. But I will be the game master. I will be, there's no reason to read up on it or anything like that because I'll be running the game. But we start with seeds. These little yellow diamond shapes at the bottom to the right of the game area. And we begin by picking some topics. We had some wonderful topics. I think what was the last one, Reed? It was
about self-determination.
Self-determination. That was a really good game. I like kind of controversial games because then you get some really interesting tensioning set in place. But honestly, y'all at Limicon are not very far apart in your thinking space. So it's been very hard to find that kind of topic. And as a result, what we've discovered is that the garden game, honestly, as much as anything, it's a truth discovery process. And if there are people who disagree with each other, that just allows for more. Then you begin finding commonality. So, yeah. Does anybody have any topics? I did not prepare some this time. Last few times I have, but I can certainly go back and find some if we need to.
For the future, it might be prudent to have the seed bank on hand of what has been done before, so people have an idea of like what the general range of
that
selection.
is a wonderful suggestion. I can actually grab some of those in a second. Let's see here. Oh, that's not the one I wanted to open.
Propose one that's been proposed before about the, if you're trying to offer a gift to the world, like be in service to something, should you charge for it or should you give it as a gift? That's been a big topic in the various spaces that we are bridging.
Okay, I just realized the ones I'm about to share were from our meeting on Friday. I was making seeds as we went, but they are very low in the soil game area. And let's see here.
Did you intend to end your share?
Oh, no. Oh, I closed the wrong window. I'm sorry, guys. Reed, why don't you just do this one?
I'm here in a support role, but
I appreciate it because obviously I need it. Okay, that's the template. Come on, Matthew. What is it? problem is I can't, okay, I'll just have to go home because I can't see the full titles. It did just now. Okay, that's it. Okay. Well, that should be it. Okay, that's it. Good. Okay. Now I will share that again with that button. And I will drop some more seeds.
These are notes from our meeting yesterday.
Correct. That's what I said.
Let's see.
So there's a plethora of seeds from the first game and from yesterday. Okay, is everybody seen the seeds?
Yeah.
Whoops. Now what do they do? I see some don't necessarily need to be here. Like Monday is about breaking my shadow. Didn't need to be there. I really like to adopt, you must adapt. That might be a fun one to unpack some.
It's a mantra. I'm into it. But I do wonder what I've enjoyed personally, just as a testimonial, is when the newcomers have put seed on there. Pretty much all the games prior that had newcomers, we wound up selecting for their seed once it was on the board.
Mm-hmm.
If there are
I think
none,
that's a wonderful suggestion. Yeah.
it is contingent though on there being seeds.
So do we have any topics from the newcomers? Maybe things you've heard in other meetings that you would like to just try to unpack and explore more? Or just anything that's been on your mind, anything that's been resonating with you that you would like to explore? Because that's really what the game is about.
I'm still trying to grasp like what it is about, but there's a soil and those golden stuff are seed. Seed is sparking ideas, vision, yeah. And maybe the things that I have in my mind that is rising from my mind, I guess, that I could throw that seed here in the soil.
That is correct. Wow, that is an interesting topic.
Yes, it is.
Sunshine is loving us indiscriminately.
Yes.
Wow. I think I will play some if we select that one, I will play some major analogical foo with it.
Mhm.
Story karate.
Yes. So I will go ahead and share this. I'll read the seed card, which are sparks, anything that sparks your imagination. What sparks the beginning of the game? What fresh vision, parts, or other ideas emerge as the game continues? That second sentence is simply that. We can develop seeds later on in the game as well. What kind of people are we called to become in these times? That's very good. Oh, and somebody's already voting. Somebody knows the next step.
Hi.
All right.
Hey there, Tim. Have you played a previous round? Do you know what we're doing here?
I do not believe I've seen Tim here before.
No, this is my first time.
Greetings.
Thank you. And I'm really
So
to discover I have something else at 1 o'clock, but I was like, this is so interesting. I need to check it out and discover for the time I have. So
beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. Just for future reference, I will probably be running this game, if everything works out well, every other Saturday in this space until for some reason I can't anymore.
Indefinitely into the
Yep.
future.
So there is a link that I will have to paste to the chat, and that will take you to our game board. And the way this game works is we are growing a garden together. And the garden starts with a seed, and the seed is anything in your mind that is, it might have been from a previous session, anything you want to explore, anything that's sparking, anything that feels like something new and fresh that has life in it for you that you would like to unpack. And the building of the plant is the process of exploring the various dimensions of the idea. There's a bunch of suggested seeds at the bottom of the soil area, and there are so far 2 suggested topics. So you got in just as we were selecting a topic. Oh, I remember this topic. I like this one. It's very specific to our project, but I'm going to bring it up here. What would an avatar game look like? So this game is kind of a social exploration of ideas. I'm looking to recreate it at some point in order to help an individual discover all the different parts of themselves, all their inner avatars, if you will. The part of you that drives you to do this thing and the part of you that drives you to do that thing. And my intuition says that to fully explore that idea, you would need to shift and tweak a lot of the parts of this game. So that's a very selfish topic, but I will leave it there. And it looks like somebody liked the topic, what happens when growth comes to the expense of others? Oh, that was a previous topic, but that's a good one.
I think this was just written by Victor, but it does, it is what happened in the self-determination game, like midway through the plant we were building. That topic became central to it.
I thought that was also the topic of our first game.
Might have been.
Okay.
Seems to be a common theme.
Right. Okay, cool. All right. Well, if there are no more topics, there are player chips, seed tokens to the right and at the right below the yellow tokens. You can just grab one of any color and drag it over, and we'll vote. And if there is a tie, we can vote again.
Can you explain
Lon,
the avatar game again?
Sure.
You would mean using something like this framework, are you referring to?
Yeah, so we'd be playing a game about how to make the game we are playing into a different game. But because of the way the game works, I suspect it wouldn't be as complicated as it might sound. It's like, how can I make a game based off of a game that I've never played before? But it would be more about the exploration of what it means to have different parts within your own psyche, and what kind of I guess the word I'm looking for is what's that Jungian phrase? Not avatars, but archetypes. What kind of archetypes you have that have been personified and personal to you, and it would be about finding dynamics between them.
Some user feedback, just from my perspective, playing the game. I feel like the topics that people can pick up the most readily without needing to learn what the topic's even about might be the more organic of topics to seed from.
Okay.
Like I feel like there might be a lot of explanation involved.
Oh,
But
in
oh,
the Avatar game.
yes.
Okay. Fair
But
enough.
there's a fun part of it in that if it's wide open, it's whatever interpretations they come with. It can inform it. It doesn't have to be our conception of what an Avatar game even is.
Right.
That's also fun.
Cool. All right. Well, it looks to me that we have an outstanding winner with what kind of people are we called to become in these times?
Mhm.
So I'm going to declare that one the winner. And the next step will be to create the root system from it. And this is what we call the parts list. This is, and it can also be a definition, any definitions or terms that you feel are necessary to explore this topic. So becoming people. I guess we have to talk about our times. So that's a part of this. I'm hearing talking, but I can't tell what it was. I'm sorry.
I mean, I was seeing that. Okay, this is the seed and this is the root, and it is the plant, and there are leaves. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You
It's
build,
literally a garden game.
Yeah.
it makes
It's nice.
actual dialogue trees.
Yes, that was actually a point that, but what was his name?
Bito.
Bito made. He was talking about a game he was developing, and he was like, actually, this game would help me build dialogue trees for the characters in my game. I was like, yes, let's do that.
Oh, yeah.
Could also build dialogue trees for characters in fictional stories.
Yep. So this one, I'm actually, normally I find it really easy to unpack the parts of this, of a seed, but I'm having a hard time with this one. So I'm wondering if I need to make a new question.
Let's see. So I'm just going to start launching stuff in here. It's open territory.
Please. Yeah, please.
I would also look to Victor, who asked the question, if he had any parts that came to mind.
Okay. I don't understand how to do this.
Fair.
Fair enough. I'm sorry. I guess I don't know why that appeared. So so parts list, you can think of it as concepts that are inherent in the topic that has been selected for. So our times is very necessary. Persons, problems, opportunity, growth. Those are all really good terms. So we are
Oh,
simply, go ahead.
So the way of adding this is to edit in that box.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. You were asking a technical problem. Yes.
And so is it possible to co-edit like simultaneously
Yes,
within
should
the
be.
same box?
I don't think we've had a problem with that.
Oh, that's
We
interesting.
might need a bigger box.
That's,
We can always drag
that's-
another one
that's-
over if we need to.
That's a really cool feature. Like Miro doesn't have the feature that you can co-edit inside of the same box. Cool.
Well, the interesting thing is this one's free.
Wow.
Yes.
Very cool. All right.
A user lesson that I've gained from playing this before is that a part of the beauty of having a box that puts a limit on how many terms you can put into it is that you kind of have to select for what are the most important parts, because really we could put 1,000 terms in here and keep going. And so I don't know, that's something that I've received in the past is like, well, what are the most salient top of the list parts? Not to say let's not do further roots, but I just wanted to share that.
And I see Fleurin is having fun building various root systems down there.
Bastard.
Wow. Okay. Machiavelli. Ah, that's what he's talking about. That kind of a bastard. Okay. Well, if we're going to do evil, let's do good, because evil has very little meaning if we are not contrasting it with good. Okay, I think I'm going to move forward. I feel like that's a good parts list. And we will begin to build our plant with various stems and branches. Each stem follow the progression from the seeds through trunk and stems aim towards what might be common to the group. That, you know what, I should update this because I've discovered that, at least in this environment, there's a lot of commonality already. So what I'm most interested in is how do we say the most general thing we can, or general things we can, using our parts list? How can we make statements using our parts list which build out this concept, or which begin to build towards this question of what kind of people are we called to become in these times? So we might say something like, to build order out of chaos, which to me, frankly, asks as many questions as it does try to answer them. But it's a good starting point.
What is this move that you're doing? And could you say
So
that
I've
again?
just added this red box to the top of the roots. The red box is a stem or a trunk of the plant we're building. But we can make we can make a bush if that's the way the ideas come about, or if it feels like we're building up, then we have a tree. You know, it just all depends on how this comes about. And it's about organizing ideas from the most general to, as we build up, we will get to a more specific outcomes. And then the leaves will be basically, what is the results? What the leaves and fruit both are about the results that all our processing of these ideas have come towards. Okay, I've got a thought that I'm going to try to chase down. I don't want it to escape, and it's trying to. I'm sensing something about how we need to know more about the times we have, because that's going to determine what kind of people we want to become. So I'm going to actually just make that a secondary seed. Although it could technically be a root as well, I think. I think it could be that as well. But in order, you know what? I do think that's a root. Let me make that a root. In order to know what kind of people we are to become for this time, we must know about this time. There's a relationship between the kairos and the calling, in which individuals grow through resistance towards the highest available perspective that they can access. So to elevate potential perspectives and to
Clarify access.
clarify access. Hmm. Hmm. Like the growth is always happening statement. That's a good one. The change. Polarization. Something about truth.
Mhm.
Loss of meaning. Hard to know what is true. I love how we have a mycelial root network going on here. I love it.
It's a new move.
It is a new move. I love it.
Mhm.
It's exactly the idea. That's what's great about this is it's just an analogy. You let the creativity of the analogy guide you into how the structure is built. And since it's co-creative, you don't know what kind of moves the other people are going to make, and that helps Platovate the whole entire atmosphere and increase the amount of creativity that can happen. At least that's the theory, and it seems to play out. Hmm. To ensure hegemony and control, maintenance of power structures and consistent agenda towards goal.
Hmm.
And safety survival of state. Okay, so that's the neo-Machiavellianism from the neo-Machiavellian root. Would that be correct? I don't actually know who played this card at the far left.
Flurin.
Flurin, cool.
Yeah.
Yes. My ever contaminate the root system, and it will contaminate every root system, and yes.
Hmm. Okay.
But it's important, I guess.
Hmm.
I am going to say that there is conflicting, I'm going to say a hegemony of conflicting worldviews, which may seem like a contradiction because that's not what a hegemony means, but it's because things are so polarized that certain idea sets just kind of stick together and form these kind of hegemonies of thought and hegemonies of polarized groups. This is by far the most lively set of typers I've had in this game yet. I love it. Usually I'm doing all the typing and for everybody. So we have our first pest card. I should explain this. So at the far right, past the 5 cards that represent the parts of the plant, there is the pests, the predators, and the climate cards. The pests are anytime you have a difficulty with something that's been stated, if it doesn't seem true to you, or if it seems like it needs further clarification, or if you're not sure, what's going on. You can always play a pest card on something. And then the response to a pest card is the predator card. How can the pests, or concerns, as we like to call them, I have a concern about this, I'm going to play a pest card. The predator card is a response to the pest. And the idea is, how can we resolve it? How can we resolve this difficulty? Does it need more explanation? Is it intractable? If it's intractable, how do we kind of work around it? How do we encapsulate it? And finally, the climate is if things were turning nasty between people, this is a chance to do some NDC, to communicate in a way that builds commonality and emotional resonance with each other. So yeah, we have a Pest card, which is too many hegemonic entities, is deleterious to control system. Hegemony also kills gardens. Okay. I think I need clarity, Florian, perhaps, or like, who played these two cards, and could you unpack your thoughts a little bit?
So from bastard to neo-Machiavellianism, and this red card, yeah, that's mine, but this pass is not mine. So I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out who plays it.
That's me.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I am going to go ahead and I feel like I'm misunderstanding the term hegemony suddenly, so I'm going to look it up.
Say like
It's like
globalistic dictatorship.
powerful, yes. Powerful, strong leader, or
Dominance, especially by one country or social group over another. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, so hegemonic entities. Okay, I guess I'm thinking of I can't think of the term I'm thinking of, but clearly you can have more than one hegemony active at the same time. I was thinking of whatever the term is that means there's one power over everything, and that's not what we're talking about. So, okay, cool. All right, so
I'd say that's the goal of a hegemony in
yeah,
general.
yeah. So, Florian, let me ask. Maybe we need to clarify your stem here, your trunk here. What are you saying about hegemonies? Because you're making a statement about them as something that exists, but it's not clear what you think about its existence. Or, is that a problem to be solved, or is that a solution to the problem?
I guess to take the hegemony, so neo-Machiavellianism is, I think it's a strategical philosophy, or let's say Henry Kissinger. I don't know if Henry Kissinger is a neo-Machiavellian, but kinda. Anyway, what he does is, yes, in order to make the world stable, we should ensure that we should seek and take the power and take the hegemony and make sure everything is under our control for the sake of safety and survival of the state.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
So, are you saying that is a solution to the seed question? What kind of people are we called to become? Are we called to be hegemonic dictators of our spheres of influence? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's the emergentic solution and strategy that stems out of this neo-Machiavellian Henry Kissinger's worldview, which
Okay.
stems also out of Bastard.
That's a fun game. So like this is like, we're exploring different ways of answering the question of like what kind of person. Yeah. Very cool.
Okay, I'm just going to take it as read then that you're saying that is a valid exercise. I really wasn't sure that's what you were saying, but I think you've confirmed it. Okay, so yeah.
Okay, then
all right.
I have a question.
Yeah.
From the hazard pest. How can hegemonic entities be harmful to control systems if a hegemonic entity is a control system?
Too many hegemonic entities is deleterious to control systems. If you want, because the whole point that I believe was made by Kissinger in regards to establishing a global hegemony in which, say, the US is positioned at the top, is that it's singular. And from there, you can institute the hierarchical control system without external forces enacting chaos within your design, within your plans. So the point that I put there as the pest is that, well, if you've got a bunch of entities and they're all trying to be hegemonies, well, they're going to fuck up each other's control systems. Like if there's other groups who want to be the number one, which is what happens when you exercise a hegemonic philosophy on a global scale, then you're not going to have control because they're going to fight each other for control, and it will fall apart. I also, that statement, hegemony kills gardens, is because hegemony is like anti-ecological in its perspective, in that it's seeking to enact a specific architecture of control instead of there being like a dynamic collaborative cooperation of filling niches as per the context of the times, in which there's not a single entity making all the calls, but rather the entire environment is participating with every entity within it to flourish. So that's my argument against hegemony in general.
Okay.
But I also think that I support this concept. I just think that Fleurin put out here. I just don't think that Henry Kissinger's idea of it was the way to do it. I think there are better ways to do it.
Yep, that's
I'm-
good.
I'm so glad actually you played that, because that is the most, if you will, controversial, at least to me, topic I've seen played yet in the garden game, and that excites me a lot. So I am going to counteract, I suppose, by saying localized self-sufficient communities interconnected through developing common and personal contracts between them will, how do I say the next part? Will allow problems to be solved more quickly and with more variability, and those solutions can be spread far more widely. So that's my I can't say it, anti-Machiavellian. I'm not saying it right. What?
Neo-Machiavellian.
Yeah, that's my anti-Neo-Machiavellian statement, I suppose. Although it's frankly also anti a lot of other processes. So anyway. All right. Wow. We've got so much going on. I love this.
Ooh, we got a pest.
Yeah, I got another couple of pests.
Couple pests.
Is organic order built or grown?
Fleurin is pesting his own.
Wow.
I was thinking of doing that too, actually, kind of.
Yeah, that's cool. Which one was yours, Carla?
Well, I was thinking of adding, because a bunch of tyrannies end up fighting each other, so that's kind of its own pest. They kind of self-destroy to some extent.
Right? Okay. I think this one feels like a rather, I'm going to say grown, because that's the kind of experience I'm looking for. Is that you don't build these things, you grow them organically. Now, if that's not acceptable, another pest card can be played.
I'm going to copy Flurin's pest card and plop that right over here. What if the solution equals the problem? Doing more create more chaos. Like that was what the question of grown was gesturing. Are
What a
we going
great
to
question.
hegemony who comes up with the rules? Do we have the specific solutions to all the problems? Like, are we just that power control system in a different mask? Like,
Yeah, that one,
Okay.
the solution is a problem was mine. The first time I heard that resonated with me, and then the more I look at it, every time I try to fix something, I generate more complexity and more things that will start failing and just breaking, which I'll need to fix even more. And then first thing you know, well, just everything's broken instead of being in the now. And it's like, oh, actually, I have pretty like 99% of what I need, and all the rest was fake needs and fake stuff. So yeah.
I really like the reference to fake needs. That is really necessary. In fact, I think that's got to go in here somewhere. I'm going to put this right in here, actually. Fake needs. That is, man, that is such a huge topic. I feel like we're swimming in them sometimes.
oh, a predator's eating my pest. All my pests are getting eaten.
Chaos grows itself inside systems of complete control. Okay, so that is in a sense saying that hegemonies are chaos producers. And so it is somehow saying that there is a value in having hegemonies because you get a particular type of chaos that evolves out of it.
I wasn't meaning to say. Yeah, I wasn't meaning to say that they're good.
Okay.
Simply that they do get destroyed. They have a
Hmm.
predator. They have a self-predator.
Okay. I would go ahead and call that a pest, though.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking of just doing a pest on a pest.
Because like, what do I do if I love the pest that's eating my pest and I want to support the pest that's eating my pest for the reasons that Matthew interpreted, of there actually being some quality to that. Like, I agree with it, but I'm like, well, actually, yeah, control systems grow chaos inside of them. They're growing seeds for gardens to bloom from. Necessity is the mother of invention. That, like, the great diversity of life on this planet is the result of catastrophe, and what life did, like, as a result of the catastrophe.
So the best way I know to shift the analogy to accommodate that would be to simply say something like, well, this particular pest ate some seeds, pooped them out, and now we got another plant. And I would turn that into another plant. That is basically saying, what kind of people are we to be? It's, and then, answer it with what you're saying, with how you like that pest.
Well, for the sake of both mine and Tim's time, that we're going to leave at 1, I'm not going to pursue that inquiry at this moment.
Okay.
Find some fruit with what we got, if possible.
We have a lot of cool things happening. I have the appearance of a pest, but I also act as a pollinator.
If I can deal with those pests, I cannot make it the blooming the leaves and fruits, I think.
That is
Right?
another great way of saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good
Yeah.
movement of the analogy. Although ironically, it's more of a meta pest on the game as a whole, rather than a pest to any one particular part of the game. All right. Well, okay. We've got a leaf. Relationships with natural cycles of growth lead us to become our calling. Okay. This individual with this plant here has just been carrying on constructing their plant while we fight pests. I love it.
Well, actually, someone else added these other stems
Okay.
on the original stem. I think it was Fleurin. And so to me,
And I
that
got blocked.
yes,
Mine is blocked. I
no,
cannot
no,
grow.
we
Yeah.
will. And there's a lot of pests eating it. We need more predators for these.
Yeah.
I guess we're having a hard time defending the defense of the hegemony.
Well, they've been a part of our world for a very long time, so I imagine it would be quite difficult to. I don't imagine an easy solution.
Mm-hmm. Like, what would a beneficial hegemony look like? That would be the seed I would draw from that. In fact, just for the sake of it, I'm going to make a seed of that.
So
we've got
the pest that I mean, the predator that I am naming for these pests is that hegemonies hold society together. I accidentally wrote culture. I should write society. Yeah. Hegemonies hold societies together.
Hmm.
So I think there's a reason they've been around for so long, because case in point, if that's a correct assessment, is that that's just the result of integrating complex systems of human solutions, right? Because those want to fall apart. They create more problems, create more problems, create more problems, collapse. And so hegemonies are the active instruments of integration for society at scale.
Wow.
Yeah, forcefully bonding things together until it naturally bonds together, kind of. But the act of trying to force it to bond it together may also break it down faster too. Yeah.
Is there
Ooh.
somewhere on here like a legend that that explains like how to think of how to distinguish between, you know, what is a seed, what is a root, what is a stem, what is a flower, what is a leaf, like that kind of thing?
There is a legend to the right. There are 5
Okay,
playing
there we
cards,
are in the cards.
plus 3 others. And if you really want to get nitpicky, there's or into the weeds, there is also yeah, you found it, the
Cool.
game description.
Thank you.
I'm just getting fascinated by this hegemony conversation.
Well, this is the amoeba, Matthew. Not that anyone else will know what I mean when I say that, but when we talk about that concept in our problem, that's what we're trying to do. that's what we're aiming for. Like, what's an organic, beautiful hegemony look like? Like that happened. Ooh, Fleurin plant got a leaf. You get sun. Sun loves us all indiscriminately.
What?
I wanna add Taco Bell. And
Do it.
Chipotle.
Those were just practical outcomes of the line of thinking I'm seeing.
Black
Oh.
Rock is such an asshole. Like they have been hiding behind and nobody knows him, but they are so dominant. Like wow, they are badass.
I'm trying to decide how to grow this idea of growth is always happening.
Oops. Music, communities of artists. Ooh. We have a thriving bush arising here in the middle that is looking to create the canopy over the garden. Experimental communities are communities of artists, creatives, hackers, experimenters, culture that develops flexibility, deliberately developmental communities and cultures. Leads of coordination capacity across localized networks, identification of stable emergent forms, and local thriving. Non-rivalry. Boom.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh, and
more.
we're going straight for the fruit.
I was going to seek to synthesize a fruit, but I see more leaves are growing.
Do it.
Wait till the leaves are done. I think that was
Climate. What would be the climate?
Christianity is the essential and condensed lesson of the hegemony.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
May I go expand on that?
You know, you can always draw a seed out of a fruit and
Right.
decide.
There's a lot of complexity there.
There is, because that's a lot to
yes.
unpack. I'm going to do a little gardening and move my little localized self-sufficient communities stem up against this 5 abilities stem, because I feel like there's a lot in common with those.
I see a fruit of Christianity up here.
Yeah, that's the one we were
Yep,
thinking
we
needs
were
a seed
having
from it.
a
Okay.
conversation about the complexity there. I don't even have the
Yeah.
tools.
Because my interpretation, not that it's correct, I just I have two minds here that are like, I can take this. Yeah, you said it. Complexity, make a seed. But it's like it looks like Christianity is the neo-Machiavellian globalistic control system. But it also, since it's a fruit, is like, well, this is a generative product. And so therefore you want Christianity to be the neo-Machiavellian globalistic control system, is what I take from
Well, out of the Roman Empire came Christianity. So, yeah, out of an oppressive, controlling system, something that was anti to that came about. So it kind of makes sense.
What?
But then, yeah, I need more tools to go like in circles regarding order and
Right.
chaos.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
what
ad
are the people
infinitum.
talking about it? What are the people talking about between Roman Empire and Christianity? that Christianity is the tool to control the world, or what?
Well, I
Well,
was sure, but anyway, go on.
so I think the Christianity is such a massive topic because there are so many thoughts about what Christianity even is that,
And we had those discussions earlier today.
oh
There
yeah,
was a Jordan Hall.
oh, what do you mean there was a Jordan Hall?
He was
He
here.
was there in the Zoom.
Oh my gosh,
Did
Yeah.
you guys not see it
Wow.
on the calendar?
I had seen
I
it.
was busy.
Let's go.
I was moving a freaking piano for a guy at church. Like he asked if I could help him, so I wasn't even looking at what was on the schedule.
That's okay. There wasn't enough time for all the questions, so.
Mm,
Well, that's fun.
wow.
It is 1 p.m. Pacific, my dudes, and I want to go and join an AI futures conversation.
Will we
Alright.
be seeing you
This
at
has
2?
been really, really cool.
Cool. Thank you, Victor, so much for showing up. I really appreciate your time.
For logistics?
I'll see you in that other session, Victor.
Will we see you
Thank
at
you,
2?
Matthew.
Thank you, Tim.
We'll
Was
see you.
quite
Okay.
fun.
Thank you.
Lots of learning in the game. Love the dynamism.
Cool. I appreciate it.
Hope to see you again.
So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess you need to go too, Heinrich?
Yeah, I just don't have enough time in the day, and I've got some
Yep.
personal stuff I've got to get done before I start next.
I get it.
Yes. But thank you all. This was so much fun. And
Yeah, this was
this was-
a great game so far.
Yeah.
I'm curious if
Yeah.
I'm curious how the next 30 minutes of our time we have scheduled will go, or if this is it.
Yeah, I think I have to go.
You got to go too? Okay, I'll just call it then. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for joining up.
Yes.
I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. I'll see you at 2? Or
Yes, I'll see you at 2.
well, 3 your time. Yeah.
It'll be 4 my time, but yes.
4 your time. Yes.
Yep. All right.
Adios.
Adios.